SHawks of Toronto taking on our home team. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Now he's going to step up and run. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. They'll try the left side. It's Bishop. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's
throwing now is Murray.
Look in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Runs through the contact. reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Shotgun now from Murray. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Snowhawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Do you think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Operating from the gun, Walters. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they were able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
Murray now. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. To throw, it's Murray. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 there, a full 10 yards, so that one hurts. And it brings up third and goal.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Back at the 16 now after the sack. Here's third and goal. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He sets up the screen to Jones. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down.
A gain of 7 yards. It's fourth down and goal.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. From the 33, here's a 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Looking to throw. Walters. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Back to throw. Walters. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
From the gun, a give to Brown.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Quick hitch complete. It's Collins. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. And on now is the punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10.
Oh, look at the juke. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Murray. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
It's a gain of 6.
Murray now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now, as he's on to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory, looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Walters. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 18-yard line.
An inside give, Brown. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. Pushing through the contact. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a 1st down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Walters. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. This is Brown going up the middle. And he is met at at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 47-yard line.
Looking to throw. Walters. Pressure comes, and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Here's Murray.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
At the 50-yard line.
Here's Murray from midfield. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
So this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Back to throw. Walters. And he comes back with one complete. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Walters. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
On the play. 2nd and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Back to throw. Walters. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
From the gun on 3rd down, Walters. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
This is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now for the 1st and goal.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Looking to throw. Walters. And he'll get nothing out of that one. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there.
His first rushing touchdown of the year.
And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. Now for the point after. And it's 17-7. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Ooh, the juke. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Back to throw. Walters. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Walters. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Walters. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Walters. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Snowhawks offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a 5-yard gain gets them to the 42. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
2nd and 5.
From the gun, Murray. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
To throw is Murray.
And that one to the right side and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Murray going to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. Week 1 was full of surprises, full of intrigue.
Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. This offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come back, continue to throw the ball effectively.
Here's 3rd and 7.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 7.
Looking to throw. Walters. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
And a first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 43-yard line.
Back to throw. Walters. That's complete. It's Collins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
Looking to throw. Walters.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And that one will skip out of bounds as the linesman will mark this thing right at the 15-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
That is caught.
And he's got room.
Inside the 10.
Touchdown. A great effort there. 78 yards.
And the Snowhawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Walters.
Oh, it was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And 10.
Back to throw. Walters. They got his man. Complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 32-yard line.
Looking to throw. Walters.
Open man is Collins. He's got it.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 7.
Back to throw. Walters. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And this one is right through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
The Snowhawks offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
3rd and 8.
Now Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. They'll go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 26-yard line.
Room past the 35.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 3.
Looking to throw. Walters. Over the middle, it's complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Back to throw. Walters. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
To number 34. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Now a handoff up the middle. Quinn. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
At the 44-yard line. A 1-yard
looking to throw. Walters. Oh, good move. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 13 yards, and it keeps the drive moving.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He finds his man, complete. That's Collins.
To number 83. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 24-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. Second and 2. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and not in that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Toronto's offense ready to take over. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Now a give, right side. It's Bishop. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And the Toronto first down.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
Up the middle they go. Bishop. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
At the 44-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a battle.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Murray.
Yeah, to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 17. Back to throw. Murray.
He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
17-yard line.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2.
Able to find the open
open man. That's complete. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Snowhawks are on their way to a 2-0 start.
On that third down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, a heck of a move. Man.
And they were running them down a couple yards shy of the 30. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
At the 35-yard line.
Second and 3. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Walters.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
At the 16-yard line.
On 1st down, it's Bishop. And the width is near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
70 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
At the 6-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal. At the 4-yard
back to throw. Murray. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Snowhawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
At the 47-yard line.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
At the 43-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 5.
Looking to throw. Walters.
Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Another one caught by Collins.
Will be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a 1st down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Back to throw it. Murray. Looking middle, and that's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
A gain of 7. 1st down, Toronto.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Toronto, it's an early road victory as they move to 2-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.